Hey, this is Healing Shame with Jeffrey Byard. It is June the 16th, where I am in China, Shenzhen, Beijing time, China time. And here is the reading for the day. All right, June 16th. Let's see what we have. Healing. This is from Strengthening My Recovery. There is no healing without feeling. Big Red Book, page 52. For so many of us, we learned to feel helpless and even hopeless, like giving up was the only intelligent way to endure our childhoods. This hopelessness is part of what feeds the depression we experience as adults. It may seem paradoxical, but in ACA, we learn that we need to experience our grief in order to alleviate our depression. It may only be through firsthand experience that we can understand how this works. There is a difference between the stagnant quality of hopelessness and the flowing quality of grief work. The former seems like a permanent state. It drags us down and makes us feel like there's no way out. The latter seems more like a temporary phase on the way to acceptance, integration, and peace. One never seems to say goodbye, while the other is about the courage to say goodbye to the losses we've sustained and all the things we cannot change. The thought of doing grief work, of feeling the pain of our past, may seem daunting, but in ACA we come to know that this is the balm that heals our ruptured souls. Our mantra on this day, I have the courage to grieve my past in order to say hello to the present and the future. And that's copyright 2013 by Adult Children of Alcoholics and Dysfunctional Families World Service Organization. Feelings. I've run from them all my life. It started back when I was a kid, and I didn't know how to handle what was going on in the house. My feelings were all over the place, and I used music, and then that led to music, heavy metal music, and role playing games, video games, and ultimately to pornography, masturbation, and then drugs and alcohol. And the reason I would use these substances is so that I would not have to feel the feelings that were coming up because I didn't think I could survive them. And in ACA, we learned that we can survive our feelings. They're not going to kill us. And that was a hard thing to come to terms with because at times I still feel like I cannot survive my feelings. Something comes up, my girlfriend leaves, and then I'm depressed and I feel, oh, I can't survive this. So I have to dissociate. I have to use music or take a hit of one of the inner drugs of shame or self-hate or fear, excitement. I feel like I have to take a hit from something because I can't just sit with the feelings. And that's not true. That's completely incorrect and inaccurate. I just have to, it just takes practice. I have to try to sit with the feelings and let them wash over me and let me actually be in the moment and feel those, however hard it is and however painful that might be. I just have to take the time to feel my feelings. And that's really at the root. So that's at the root of all of these addictions. Anything from alcoholism to caffeine and drug addiction, caffeine abuse, narcotic abuse, meth, doesn't matter. Addiction to food, cigarettes, all of it, cutting. Uh, at the root of all of that, any kind of addiction is a feeling that I'm faulty, basically toxic shame. Toxic shame's at the root of all these addictions, that I'm not good enough. There's a feeling that I'm faulty, I'm a mistake. And that's that toxic shame, that core of toxic shame. And so that's what this series is about, is getting down to the root of that toxic shame, recognizing that it was the upbringing, it was the attachment style, the anxious attachment style, the avoidant, whatever it might have been, the inability of my caretakers to connect with me emotionally, that connecting or trying to be with emotionally unavailable people all my life, starting with the caretakers. So it's scary to be on this path sometimes because I know that the path forward is, there's no way out except through. In order for me to come out the other side of this insane life that I've lived is to go through the pain. And that means I have to feel the feelings. So no more running to drugs, no more running to alcohol or caffeine or sex or music. Sometimes I still sleep. I do dissociate quite frequently. I just stare off and zone out, space out, la la land. And it's just like people can see that I'm not there, I'm not present. And I use that to just kind of just check out briefly out of reality. I'm checking out. And I can just do that by just spacing out. I can check out of reality. I can numb out, psychically numb for a few seconds, a minute or two here and there. Yeah. So it's definitely a challenge. And, when you've spent a lifetime running from pain and running from any kind of unpleasant feelings or emotions, that's not going to change overnight. It's going to take time for me to practice being in my feelings, recognizing they're not going to kill me, and being present with them. This is essentially stage 2 recovery. Stage 1 recovery, some people are still in. They're still trying to get a year or two of sobriety in from drugs and alcohol or caffeine or whatever, or sex. That's stage 1 recovery. And I'm in stage 2 right now. I feel I'm in stage 2, maybe 3, but I'm in stage 2 at least, where I am dealing with the core issues. And then there's that grief. There's that measure of loss, experiencing the grief, feeling the grief, embracing the grief. It says that old timers in ACA, they see their grief as a gift. They know they're feeling if they recognizing there's grief there. And so I feel like that is where I am today. I'm recognizing the grief. There's a desire, though, still deep in my mind. There's a desire to, I miss my mother, and that's that trauma bond. I miss that. That's an addiction. I miss that, being in that environment. And so, here I am in China, and it's like, wow, when am I going to get a hit of that trauma bond, of that excitement from being in that environment? That's basically like drinking alcohol for me. So I got to sit with this stuff, and I got to feel it, and it hurts. It hurts like hell. It's painful, but there is no healing without feeling. And today, as it says in our reading, it says, "On this day, I have the courage to grieve my past in order to say hello to the present and the future." And I do have courage today. I reflect back on it. I feel the loss of people who are gone, grandma, my stepfather, and people who will be gone one day. The loss of my brothers. We don't talk. They haven't passed on, but in a way it's like they have. We have no connection. There's nothing. There's no bond there. And it's sad. It hurts me deeply. It hurts me greatly. So I can feel that though. I have a choice to feel it. I don't have to go smoke, go to the hookah bong, smoke shisha. I don't have to smoke cigarettes or pound coffee, pound pot after pot of coffee, or guzzle booze. I don't have to do that. I don't have to psychically numb. I don't have to run. I can feel the feelings. They're not going to kill me, and it's going to be okay. So I hope that you can have the courage today, along with me. Join me on this journey. Feel your feelings today. And until next time, all the best.